Let's call the meeting to order. Regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the 29 Palms Water District, January 28th at 4 p.m. This meeting may be viewed on the district's website at www.29palmswater.net. The board reserves the right to discuss only or take action on any item on the agenda. Roll call, Cindy.
Director Arthur is absent. Director Bowden?
Here.
Director Coghill?
Here.
Director Leeser?
Here.
Director Woods? Here.
Please make sure your cell phones are turned off so we don't interrupt anybody's thought process. And Ryan, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Congratulations, Amy.
Coffee's intact.
You almost turned it over again. Thank you, Ryan.
No spill kit?
Yeah, just real quick. Cindy, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Yes, agenda item number 3 will be pulled pending further review.
Thank you. Public comment. Please complete a request to be heard form prior to the start of the meeting. The public may address the board for 3 minutes on district-related matters. Government code prohibits the board from taking action on matters that are not on the agenda. However, the board may refer matters for future consideration. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
Thank you. Item number 1, presentation and consideration to receive and file the 29 Palms Water District's fiscal year 2024-2025 audited financial statements. General Manager.
Good afternoon, President, the board and members. Today before you, Edie Payne will be giving a presentation. Savas with Edie Payne will be giving a presentation for the Water District's financial statements for fiscal year 2024-25, and presentation from Edie Payne.
Hello, hey everyone. My name is Savas Kiriakou. I'm audit manager with Edie Payne. I'm here with Brandon Perez, the audit partner of the engagement. We were engaged to audit the financial statements of 29 Palms Water District for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025. We provided you with 2 reports and a letter as part of our audit deliverables. The first report is the financial statements, which includes our independent opinion. And our opinion is that the financial statements for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025 are fairly presented in all material respects in accordance with the generally accepted accounting principles. The second report relates to the internal control over financial reporting and compliance and other matters. As stated in our report, we did not identify any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in the internal controls. In the letter, we have outlined our responsibility and covers other significant audit matters that we incurred. So during our audit, we had 2 new accounting pronouncements which have been implemented by the district. The one was GASB. It was the Governmental Accounting Standard 101, and the other one was the 102. Both have been implemented. Besides those 2 changes, no other new accounting policies during the year that we audit. Next, we have significant estimates. In our letter, we identify as significant estimates the net pension liability, deferred inflows and outflows, and pension expense, which are based on actuarial reports, actuarial valuations. Certain assumptions have been made for those pensions, like salary increases, investment returns, inflation rates, all which have made different from actual amounts. And the same applies with the other post-employment benefits. In regards to significant disclosures, the financial statements, then disclosure, the significant one is going to be the pension and the OPEB, and the important to read because of the assumptions used in their calculation. Next slide. So over here we can see the statement of net position summary, a comparison with prior year. As we can see in line 3, the total assets have been increased. The increase from last year is mainly due to cash and investments, who have been offset by an increase in accumulated depreciation. Going a little bit down, you're going to see the total liabilities, which have remained fairly consistent from last year. The next slide, please. Over here, we have the statements of revenue, expenses, and changes in net position summary. Change in net position for 2025 was 249,000, down from last year's of 404,000. Operating revenues increased compared to last year by approximately 484,000. The increase mainly from the water consumption. Operating expenses increased approximately 740,000. Approximately 380,000 from general administration expenses, 160,000 from general plan, and 125,000 from transmission and distribution expenses. Non-operating revenue increase. The higher amount of from non-operating revenue derives from the investment earnings. Any questions?
Director Bowden, do you have any questions, sir?
I got something that you had scheduled, findings and responses from the prior year, in the very last page.
Yes. So in 2024 year,
Silver segregation of duties and
Oh.
cash disbursements, and I was just wondering how many handwritten checks we did last year. Because you say that your scenario is that a person could get the check and handwrite it. I was just wondering, do we write hand checks anymore, or is everything done through the computer?
this was from the last year's audit. Now this matter has been
I'm on the last
resolved.
page of the paperwork I got, so.
Yes. Yes,
I
if
just
you
thought-
see at the end, it says resolved. So this was a matter from last year, and this
Okay.
year, audit 2025, has been resolved. So it's no longer an issue.
I just look like we're digging pretty good and deep there.
That's why you pay us.
All right, thank you. I just wondered if we wrote hand checks as,
No, but I could explain a little bit if I need to.
Well,
You want
I'll
to,
give you
Brandon, or you want me to?
My name is Brendan Farrell.
procedure and policy, I
Yeah.
guess.
So the idea is, again, the person that's signing the check should not have access to the check stock, because that one person can, not handwritten, he can just run it through a computer, he has the check stocks, fill it out, sign it, and walk off with the money. So ultimately, the person not having the rights to sign the check should not have access to the check stock. So just a bit of extra security to make sure that your cash balances are secure.
I got it, I just was wondering if, I didn't think it was customary anymore anywhere to write a.
Well, and I guess you take it just maybe a little too literally as far as writing the check. I mean, he
Well, that's
could
what it
run the
said,
system.
so
You
I
could run it through the
literally said
system,
it that
yeah. So maybe a little too literal in the sense of writing, but again, just filling it, running it through the computer, processing it, and then signing the check and cashing it.
So it was called up from last year's deficiency, if you will, that it has
Yeah.
been corrected
Yeah, so
for
part
this year's
of,
audit.
so part of government auditing standards is when we issue a finding in 1 year, we have to follow up on them in the prior year, and part of our internal control letter is gonna say the status of those. So that's why Savas noted that the status is resolved, and I think you guys took care of that right away.
Yeah.
I think by the time we finished last year's audit, it was already implemented. So again, thank you to Matt and the staff here for, we always like to see management open to our recommendations, and just sign it's a sign of the good tone at the top, right?
Certainly,
Yeah.
certainly. Thank you for that advice.
Exactly. I wasn't questioning, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Did we have any deficiencies this year?
What was
I
that?
didn't read any
Nope.
deficiencies this year.
Nope.
So you taught them a good lesson, see?
There you go.
All right.
Any other wonderments?
No, I was just
Thank you, Larry. Director Wood?
Yeah.
Director Leeser?
None, thank you.
And I have none
Appreciate it.
either. Thank you for your explanation and your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you again for having me to you guys as our so, again.
All right.
So staff is looking for a recommendation to obviously receive and file the district's audited financial statements for fiscal year 24-25.
I'll make the recommendation to receive and file the Water District's FY 24/25 plan and financial statements.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So ordered. All right.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, boss.
Thank you. Item number 2, consideration of resolution 2601, adopting annual statement of the investment policy. Director, General Manager?
Today before you is Resolution 2601, the district's annual statement of investment policy. Every year at this time, the Board of Directors authorize the district to invest and outline the criteria for such investments in the district's funds. Not much has changed from the policy of last year. The 2 investment pools that the district is currently involved in is the State of California's Local Agency Investment Fund, which is LAIF, and the California Cooperative Liquid Asset Security Systems, which is CLASS. The recommendation from staff would be to approve and adopt Resolution 2601. But if the board would like to have open discussion prior, we'd be looking for us to approve the resolution.
Comments, questions, considerations?
None.
None?
None.
I have none also. And that's going to require a vote for the resolution. Correct. Roll call vote, please, Cindy.
Well, we need a first and second.
Oh, good to have myself.
I move that we accept it.
I second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Director Arthur is absent. Director Bowden?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Aye.
Director Woods?
Aye.
Director Cocktail?
Yes. Item number 4, 3's been pulled. Item number 4, appointment. Appoint replacement and alternate to the legislative committee. General Manager?
This item is before you today as an open discussion on continuing with the district's legislative committee. And if the board does see to continue with that committee, staff is looking for an appointment of a new committee member and is also considering an alternate member. The alternate member would be there strictly to step in when needed. So it wouldn't be 3 members, but it would be Director Coghill is one member of the Ledge Committee. We're looking for a new member if you guys see fit to move forward with the legislative committee, and an alternate to go with that committee. So open up for discussion if the board sees fit to keep the legislative committee.
I know nothing, Director Coghill, so I'd like to hear from you.
Well, in the past, we have gone to Sacramento many times to talk with the legislature. They enjoy hearing from elected officials talking to elected officials. They seem to listen a little closer and a little deeper than just someone from the general public who may not know what they're talking about. And I don't mean that in a glib way. I'm just saying they appreciate talking to elected officials. We've been successful in talking with our elected officials about getting certain items that they have issued as an unfunded mandate that cost us money to do for them, to turn that table around and look at an alternative way, in so much as when they understood what we were talking about, they changed it and gave us a seat at the table for something else they were asking about. They've actually called us and asked our opinions about certain things. So they trust what we do, and with the Ortega groups going up there that we're founding members of, and all of us go up there and speak on behalf of certain topics. It's very worthwhile and very rewarding. Obviously, I learned a lot about it, and it's made a difference. I would be a proponent to keep the ad hoc committee for legislative committee, but it's up to the board whether they want to do that or not. But like our general manager said, it's going to take one more because Carol's no longer with us, and it would be nice to have an alternate in case somebody couldn't go, that we still have a representation.
And a little bit different than the ad hoc committee. The legislative committee would be more of a permanent. We've had it since 2017, mostly to go up to Sacramento and let that committee get the extra days as an employee of the district. So they get an extra day to fly up there and all expenses paid. But it also has been big for Chrome 6, conservation is a way of life, and some of the unfunded mandates that Director Coghill is speaking of, that we did have a seat at the table. So do they meet yearly? It just kind of depends on how close we are with legislation that year. But currently, we are short one member, and we've decided if you guys would like to keep it around, just having that alternate member available to go and do some extras, so.
I know with us being partnered with the California Community Water Systems Alliance and Don Ortega, we've been, like Matt said, we've been very successful at that. When that group was first formed, there were 6 or 7 water agencies with that, and we were planning out what we were going to do and what our roles were going to be and what topics we were going to talk about up in Sacramento. And I was the one that stepped up and said, this is going to grow like wildfire. It's going to be exponential. There's going to be so many members that there's going to be so many people out there that can do public speaking and talk on the subject better than I can. I knew that going in. And it has come to that. The CWSA has grown exponentially, and there's a lot of great people that go up there and talk. So we haven't gone in a long time.
And they do have a legislation day in February,
Right.
starting to plan. One of the big things the Community Water Systems Alliance that is up against, and maybe not us this time, but the Western Joshua Tree. So Joshua Basin and High Desert both have issues with the Western Joshua Tree and the regulations behind it. And again, as an agency that maybe not has the issue, we're still in the same battle with them. So when Chrome 6 comes up, we kind of join forces, and we do have a seat at the table as a little water district. Myself have gone up to the state capitol and spoke at water board meetings, met with legislators to try to ask about unfunded water mandates and regulations coming down the pike, because there's more coming.
A funny story, if you want to call it that. We went up there once and they were talking about water conservation. They were putting a cap on how many gallons a person could have per day in their household. And they were trying to do a one-size-fits-all solution for the entire 58 counties of the state of California. That included mountains, deserts, seas, cities, unincorporated, everybody. Everybody falls under the same hammer. Well, we went up and we were speaking to them, and we were telling them about how we use evaporative coolers, swamp coolers, right? They had no idea what we were talking about. They had no concept what an evaporative cooler was. They were educated, and they changed a little bit and didn't push as hard. Education, it's just common sense education. I think it's worthwhile.
I think it's worthwhile.
So what's your pleasure, ladies and gentlemen? Want to participate?
Say didn't Mr. Arthur Director Arthur, interested in that?
I'm not sure. I don't remember what Michael said.
He did inform me that he was for the legislative committee staying together. We talked on some topics. He didn't mention that he would be the member or the alternate, but we could always appoint. And then if he sees it not fit, we could also, say, hey, and maybe just the alternate for him not being here today. So
I wouldn't want to throw him under the bus because he's not here. I don't want to have an active participation. I hate to postpone it.
no, I would say at least, if there's one that's willing to be part of the ledge team, maybe make that trip to Sacramento when those days are here. And we can always see if Director Arthur would be interested in that alternate seat, or if there's somebody here. So
That's true. We could do that.
No interest, Randy?
Not right now. I'm in a state of flux, personal-wise.
Director Woods?
I would not be able to commit to being able to go up there, although I support us having someone, and I would love to, but I can't commit to that time.
And they are usually weekdays.
Yeah.
And we have gone up there with only one board member. It's not like the whole committee has to go up when we go up. That is not what I'm saying either, so if we took it that way, so apologies. If we go up as a committee, more than likely I go up with my committee members, or one or both. And I also kind of let the committee speak, because again, it's elected officials talking to elected officials. It's not general managers speaking to elected officials.
I support us having a legislative committee, and I would think that Larry Bowden, having held many elected positions in his time here in 29 Palms, would be an excellent candidate to do that, should he be interested.
I couldn't consider myself an excellent candidate, but I would be open to it, but I wanted to be sure the people that have been here longer than I have been had the opportunity. So yes. Yes, I am an excellent candidate.
So with that, we make a motion that Director Bowden be the second member of the Legislative Committee. For time being, would also Director Arthur being the alternative, and we can have that discussion with him.
I'll make that motion. What he said.
I move that Larry Bowden be the primary candidate to be on the legislative committee, and the alternate would be Director Arthur, should he agree. That's my motion.
And to provide a daily meeting stipend.
And to provide a daily meeting stipend.
Perfect.
I'll second that.
Moved in second. Roll call vote?
Director Arthur is absent. Director Bowden?
Aye.
Director Leeser?
Aye.
Director Woods?
Yes.
Director Coghill?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. I think we needed that. Item 5, discussion of a master service agreement with Noble Systems for GeoViewer software subscription and support services.
Before you today is a master service agreement with Noble Systems in the district. Currently, the district has an annual subscription with Noble Systems that include GeoViewer online and mobile applications, the EH Walks valve exercising module, the hydrant and dead end flushing module, a backflow data module, and the US Dig Alert ticket module. Within the past year, Noble Systems in the district have created unlimited GIS data updates, Springbrook work order service integration, and unlimited field support forms, field forms. These 3 solutions have been being used in the past few months by field staff and office staff. So those are new things that we brought along in the last year. Currently, Noble Systems is working on a customer portal that will integrate the district's infrastructure system, meter infrastructure system, to allow real-time data to go to the customers. The district's slogan that efficiencies through technology has hit major strides in the last 3 years since signing Noble on as a partner. Yearly subscription fees in the new service agreement are, we're looking at $102,800 per year. Effective date starting March 1st of 26, with the first year being prorated at $72,933.33. Today, we're not approving a master service agreement. We're opening it up for discussion and seeing where the board would like to see our GIS program go. So for today, it's open discussion on the Noble system.
Where is, okay. So they are headquartered in Redlands.
Right. And currently, the city and the other water agencies are all Noble customers. Noble has 250 cities. They're also international. They have customers in Uzbekistan and all over the country. They're not going anywhere. And the biggest thing that I found out with GIS is you got to find a company that's not leaving. If they're a smaller company that maybe only has so many agencies, there's a chance they may not be around long enough. Noble has really stepped up, and I think part of my efficiencies through technology and being partners with Noble is they're really impressed with what we've done with our systems in a short period of time because we're making them work. There's not a day that goes by that the staff, one, isn't using the iPads and using the data that is in front of them in their car, in their trucks every day. But Noble has also reached out to us and asked us, hey, how are you guys collecting data? By doing our own investigation on data points and how we collect those. Our GIS system is a system that I don't know as well, which on purpose I've kind of done that. But the employees have made it a point to us that it's being used every day. We are getting rid of paperwork orders. They're getting done through the systems now. And the integrations with these other companies that Noble is providing, Springbrook is our billing, NAA is our meter infrastructure, has shown us that we are definitely being more efficient than we've ever been. So we have to just continue to make them work for us. But with that being said, with such a big subscription-based contract, I would definitely love to hear feedback and what we can take back to Noble if there's some things in this subscription contract that we're not okay with.
Is this how they would locate meters after a rainstorm where they were flooded and they're not visible? Would they be able to, do they do that?
District staff has shot in all of our appurtenances. Appurtenances being meter boxes, fire hydrants, valves in the ground. We can get very close within working backwards, where more people that were starting before us don't have the technology that we provided to this district. So yes, your answer is, we go to an area that's flooded out and we can't find the meter boxes. They also have a picture of the front yard at every GIS location of what we're looking at, so you can kind of step back and say, hey, it's either on this side of the yard or it's not. So we've done some things with Noble to get us to our appurtenances in a flooded area, which in the Upper Hanson, we did have to use during our last flood.
Right where I live.
Right where-
And I was gonna say, I've seen them 6 feet off before. Are we closer now?
Yep.
I was looking at these guys. They're the ones out there digging. I don't think Matt's the digger.
I don't know. Matt, send him out tomorrow. Go
They
visit.
shook their heads, yeah, so it's putting us much closer, obviously.
We definitely can put on a quick demo. We've done that before in the outside field, where we show you how we work backwards with the GIS system to show you how we can find location now. So within 6 foot, I would say very confidently, we can get within 6 foot.
Well, they were way off once. I had to tell them where it was because I knew I drove by it every day.
Right.
That's on the other side.
Was this before or after the GIS?
This was way before,
Yeah.
way before. These guys weren't even working here then.
So even the difference of having like the map books in our trucks that we used to have compared to now GIS, we prefer them to use the iPads that have been provided by the district to do all their GIS work, including looking up maps. But we do have applications that are on our phone. When we are rushing in here for a leak, the guys are now up, as they're coming in, hey, we're on this road, the location of these valves to shut this down if we've got to hit hydrant or something like that, it's at their fingertips now. Something that you had to get books out, you had to find the tie locations, how far off of the tie locations, do the tie locations exist, or can we get to the GIS data? GIS has really made my slogan of efficiencies through technology. I mean, within 4 years, I can't believe where we're at today. And I can see us just getting better with the programs that we're bringing to the district.
So is the customer portal something they're doing that's kind of new?
Yes,
And we're kind of one of the first to do it?
we're going to be a guinea pig.
Can we adjust the price on how much we have to pay for that, being that we're a guinea pig?
Yeah, do we get a credit for being a test bed
Test pits?
and helping them develop a better product?
Well, the one thing we are doing, because there is a group out there that we have got a quote from before called Water Smarts, they already have customer portal created. And back in those days, the price was huge.
Yeah.
I explained to Balaji, hey, there's something I want to see with your system and you don't provide it for anybody else. What happens if we were the first customer? I see the number of 15,000 a year a little high myself. But this is where we have open discussion and we bring back to the consultant, hey, you know, we're sole sourcing you as a consultant now because he's our GIS consultant. What can you do for us on this customer portal? So I think your question is a great question. I think we definitely can go back to Noble and say, hey, we're the guinea pig. We're the one that's saying we want to see it in our name first. But what are you willing to do to make it?
We're the person they're gonna call when they want it from somewhere else. How's it working out?
Well, and they're also going to be where if we feel the customer portal is not helping this district and the customers, he's going to give me a 2-year out guarantee. Or after 2 years of him creating, and we are not happy with the product because maybe we only have out of the 8,300 service connections, 1,000 people tied onto it. We then make a decision if it's worth keeping the customer portal around. And he's doing it in a very short period of time of saying, you guys can move forward.
Well, that's good too, but I still think you should ask him if we couldn't.
I think the technology is going to afford the customers of the district a way that they can look at their system and see if they have a leak, they can discover something before we can. I mean, we can look it up 12 times a day just by going to a screen. They're going to be able to look up their own hourly if they wanted to, keep track of different things. And it keeps with the transparency.
Well, I got a $500 bill once, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That was a toilet.
And 9 times out of 10, they're toilets.
That's what they are, yeah.
That's our issues. Float valves that.
Or
can't-
manual sprinkler valves,
What do
forgotten.
our employees say about that? Is something that you're looking forward to getting started for the customers to help you do what you do?
I think it'd be nice to have the customers be able to look at their own property themselves. It's hard whenever you have,
Hey, Austin, would you take
Take the mic.
It's got good.
I feel like it's hard for for us as, usually it's me, Derek, and one other guy, but it's usually one guy per day. And then you have 200 leaks going on in the entire district. It's hard for us to get to every single one. So for the customers to be able to see that
A
they have a
leak.
leak, I think it would probably drop numbers quite a bit if everybody gets onto it, just to be able to go in and see if you got a leak on your side. That way
What-
I'm not going to, because I could probably, depending on how the leak is, I could probably get to 5 or 10 in a day. But being able to see your own stuff, hopefully it would help us get everything sorted out a little bit better.
So with NAA, the meter infrastructure program, we didn't really have anything in place for the customer to be alert when there's an issue. We get alerts weekly that say, hey, this meter hasn't shut off and there's something we need to do. Now just think, multiples, hotels, and all these bigger hitters, we don't mess with those. Those meters aren't shutting off. The individual customer that we can see for 10 days, they've had a 20-unit leak, 2 units a day, is 1,500 gallons a day that they're losing out of that meter. We want to get there right now and find a way to help those customers. But we also want to find a way that those customers are responsible for their own water and their own service. Because right now, we are taking the time where a guy sits on NAA, he looks for the newest leaks, and we go. Hey, if there's a leak that started 10 days ago and it's 40 units a day, we need to get there today and we need to figure out what's going on in that property. They are so, the customers are so thankful that we have something in place, but a lot of them do say to us, well, when are we gonna know if the leak's on our property?
Yeah.
And that's what I want this district to start kind of preparing. I'm not saying we're gonna get away from our guys being the NAA experts, meter infrastructure, but this is now making you accountable for the money that's coming out of your pocket in a water bill by saying, hey, my meter didn't shut off. And hopefully the messaging that we put in will say, and if it doesn't, and if it continues, please give us a call so we can help. Because now we're not running and doing the legwork, we're running there to say, let's kill the access panel, let's do the things now that we do kind of beyond what a district has to do.
Yeah.
But we still do to provide the service for our customers, so.
Well,
So are you saying that the service, the GeoViewer service, it isn't that I have to be checking it, it's that it will send me an alert via my email or my text
That's what we were
message?
talking about before.
That's what I'm asking, that it's not my response. I wouldn't agree with that. If it's, well, it's your responsibility, it's your property, you check your thing 10 times a day. But if it's, hey, we sent you a message, hey, we texted, hey, we emailed because it generated that, I like that. Number 2 question then is, say that happens and I get that text message and I, call here and say, I got a message, are you coming out? Are you coming out if I call? Are you coming out? What's the protocol for that? Point being, he had 200 a day and everybody got their message and 195 of them called. What are you gonna do?
You can only allocate so much time. We would definitely take those as they come in, because, again, we have a staff of about 10 of us in the field every day, 10.
My question is then, if 195 of them called because your system worked really good, then what's the liability to us because I called you?
The liability to us is not on us.
First
It's the
come, first served.
customer's account, and it's their side of the
On our side of
district.
the meter.
What we do right now is above and beyond what any district is doing in this area. So us giving them the ability to even say, oh, good point, 195 people call and we're gonna get to 20 of them. If you don't want your meter to spin right now, we advise you to shut it off at the customer valve and we can get there when we can get there to help you. Because it isn't still our responsibility to go on the property and find the leak. A lot of these, Director Woods, could be as little as a 0.01 gallon per hour or unit per hour. That is 7 gallons in 60 minutes. I will never find that leak. That is a very small leak. More than likely it's a toilet. So what we train the staff to do is turn off the toilet valve or direct them to, and now let's go see if the meter shuts off. So when I say it's not our responsibility, we still don't want water waste. This is us a way to conserve water, right? There's leaks going on, how do we do that? But at this point, if we have 195 and we can get to 10 because we've got 10 guys in the field, you other 185, let's shut your customer valves off, and when we can get to you, we'll see if we can send you a message to meet with us.
Or call a plumber.
Or get a plumber.
That's what I did.
It depends, I mean, if you've got water flowing out of your property down the street, call us. But if you hear your water running in your toilet, call a plumber.
Or in the wall.
Or in the wall, yeah.
Now, if it's over a certain GPM and the guys can get there and do a flow meter on it, flow calculation on the meter, we also then make the determination, you're losing too much water, shut them off, leave a door hanger, explain there's a leak in the yard, maybe circle it with paint to explain, hey, you've got a way bigger leak going on and we need to deal with it. We're not just gonna let thousands of gallons just go if we know. We also have to be careful on the really small ones, because if somebody inside says, well, I have something that kicks on and off and now you've killed everything inside my house, that's where you gotta be careful. So you just don't go and shut everyone off.
Right.
You let them be responsible to shut their own water on and off when they're supposed to.
And first come, first serve.
So, but we're only talking the customer portal that isn't even here. So
Yeah.
Noble Systems has integrated our billing software, these guys can go on their iPads and deal with, they can get their work orders for the day and they can route them through the iPad and kind of know where every stop is going to be on the way. This is kind of a cool thing that we've never had. The USA tickets now, when you send a USA ticket, underground service alert, somebody's digging up in the street and we gotta send a USA ticket, the guys go do the USA, we make our marks on the ground, we take a picture, we send it to USA to say, the work's been done. Nobody can say, oh, the water district never came out and marked that. So that is in there. The things that we're using, the unlimited data, Jana and Ryan are the two that call Balaji and Noble System the most. And one of my comments to them is, they don't get back to you within a week, you let me know, because they will get back to us in a week. Because we have paid for the unlimited call when you want if there's an issue. They're really trying to create this system for us. What do you guys like? What do you not like? So it's not just this customer portal that isn't even here. This is what we're going to train them to tell them what we want. It's all these other things that Noble Systems has done in a short period of time that has been pretty impressive. And also, if we ever have the opportunity to do a demo on Noble Systems, just regular GIS, I would love for you guys to come in and see that system in your hands and go, wow, I didn't realize 29 Palms Water was doing this. Because this is all fairly new. This is about a 3 or 4 year system, 3 or 4 year program that we just started.
Yeah, well, as a customer, being able to set an alert when anything's over X GPM would be nice, because in my case, for my big bill, was when I looked out my back window and saw the water leaching through my retainer upper wall, and then I realized, oh no, it's been on for XYZ days, like 7 days. So.
And I've also done that to my in-ground pool. I've left the water on, I go back to NAA and go, those day and a half, that water ran for a long time. So we all do it, is what I'm getting at. It would be nice for something to alert us, or we set up parameters.
Yeah.
Hey, a 5 GPM leak, call us, text us, and that's all the things that we get to kind of create with this portal.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to say yay or nay to most of them, but the leak alert to say, hey, there's something going on the property, we want you to be aware, please get a hold of us if you can't figure it out. The district would love to support.
I like it. The district showed up at my house, but my bill was $500, so that was a lot of water, wasn't it?
It's a lot of water.
I was there, and he goes, yeah, we need to check your meter. Yeah, it was flowing.
And there have been some customers that have had that kind of leak that their bill has been in the thousands.
Right.
So I believe this would be a great thing for our ratepayers and for the district.
It was a great
New-
thing for me that he showed up.
New technology moving forward.
My questions are, we lose connectivity to this. Is the data here on our laptops to where it works regardless of their network being up?
We've had some network small issues where it does go down, and it has gone down, and it's getting a hold of GeoViewer and saying, hey, where are we at? But it's also the reason why we've pushed into our employees' mind, GeoViewer isn't everything. We
Yeah,
still have
well,
the backup. We still have the
My
backup
experience
rules.
having employees with laptops is we had one parent laptop that every time the other laptops got near it, it exchanged data. And we always had the data locally available whenever that sync occurred. So if we lost the network, our data was still our data. It wasn't trapped somewhere. And in the event that we change services to another provider later, I want to know that our data is going to port over to the new
still-
provider,
we still
and
have
we
the
don't get
rights.
this game of, oh, I'm sorry about your data. You don't own it, we do.
Ryan, you might be able to attest to that. Could you take the podium?
Let's say cell towers go down.
Could you take the podium?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Let's say cell towers go down, for example. Those iPads individually can access every single thing that's in that system now, except pictures. Pictures are stored cloud-wide because there's so much data in those pictures. If we had a picture of every meter, that's a lot, right? But everything is accessible per iPad, per laptop, completely separate of internet, anything like that. And that's housed within each device. So like you said, there's a main system, you don't even have to have that. Each individual device has access to everything with or without internet. The only thing that wouldn't work is, let's say, for example, I make an update on a valve, he couldn't see that.
It'll store till it exchanges
But
when it's back up.
generally, if we're out doing emergency repairs, if that were to happen, we'd still have access to everything. And as you were saying too, let's say we wanted to switch providers, we always can access that data from them and export that.
Cool.
So what I'm kind of hearing in the discussion, unless there's any other questions, I know one of the things, I think, and it's a very great point, let's talk about the customer portal with the provider. But at some point, I would look before March 1st, bringing back some kind of service agreement to you guys to approve. So us maybe working on that customer portal, Balaji's still gonna, Noble Systems is still gonna have a number in there. And again, part of this conversation was with finance and what they do at other districts, and does this number look solid? We kind of got the nod that other districts spend more than us, other districts spend less than us. So this is kind of in the in-between, but it is similar, it is very similar to see $100,000 service contracts for GIS.
All right. Yeah, sometimes if you ask, you get a little, sometimes you don't. That's all. It's negotiation. When I read that letter, I want to negotiate.
So
And
do
then
we,
you win.
so are we all in favor of giving our general manager the green light to proceed forward?
I'm good.
Director Woods?
Yes.
Director Weaver?
Yes.
Go for it. Next item, item 6, update on district's fleet electric vehicle charging station and advanced clean fleet AFC regulations, ACF regulations. Ryan?
So before you today, with the discussion is the district's mechanic, Ryan Weber, and he will be having a discussion on electric vehicles and advanced fleet requirements. Along with Ryan Weber understanding the regulations, retired mechanic Steve Gurney and York Engineering have played an extremely hard role in us understanding what's going on with our fleet. And I just wanted to give a little bit of credit before I turn it over to Ryan.
Good evening, Board of Directors. My name is Ryan Weber, as he said, and I'm the district mechanic. And I'd like to just present a summary of changes and updates to the legislation which is provided in the board package. In September of 2023, CARB adopted the ACF regulation, which requires fleets like ours to gradually transition from gas and diesel vehicles to zero-emission vehicles, mainly affecting medium and heavy-duty trucks used by the district. While enforcement has paused for most private fleets, local government agencies are treated differently. Because the district is a public agency, the regulation continues to apply to us. Currently, 50% of vehicle purchases must be zero emissions, increasing to 1% beginning January of 2027. CARB has proposed amendments that may delay these requirements, but those changes have yet to be adopted. The regulation is expected to create increased vehicle, infrastructure, and electrical upgrade costs to the district. We will continue monitoring COG rulemaking and evaluate impacts to future fleet planning and budgets. Considering this, are there any questions that I may answer for the board?
Director Bowden, I'll start with you.
Well, the word on the street is that some of the trucks they want us to replace, nobody even makes them in electric vehicles.
So as of last month, the main Ford Lightning was discontinued, yes. So, I agree, yeah.
So even the one Ford truck that did exist, which was the Lightning at 115,000, that is now discontinued. It was over 8,500 GVWR as a smaller truck because of the battery sizes and the weight of the batteries, my understanding. But the vehicles that they're telling us over 8,500 GVWR are not even being made, and we have requirements that I can only buy 50% of anything over 8,500 GVWR. And there is a way, Ryan, explain maybe like how you can put out a, to say, hey, I need extras, you can put out a
So it's hard because there's a bunch of
waiver.
waivers to this program, but as soon as you were to bring up that waiver to CARB, they're gonna say, hey, there's this one manufacturer over here that does make that truck, technically. And it's not gonna meet our needs, and it's not going to do what we need it to do per se. So that's how we, you know, we can have a waiver and request that, but that's what they would come back with almost instantly. It does exist, although it does not meet the needs of the district or even come close to what we currently have.
I watched an article on TV, it was a news broadcast where Lee Zeldin, the director of the Environmental Protection Agency for the federal government, stood up and said, in essence, out of his own mouth, in essence, smogs nationwide are going to be done away with, post haste. That came out of one of the bills that was signed into law. Now, I've had discussions with Matt about that, about having no smogs in California, and there's going to be a pushback in California from Governor Newsom about that. The federal government's going to have to get involved, start withholding funds or writing letters, sending people to jail, whatever it takes to stop the smog. But Lee Zeldin has already said with the EPA that they're done with smog nationwide, and he specifically pointed California, North Carolina, and Massachusetts. Now, the problem as I see it is it didn't address the utility section of what you're talking about. Have you heard anything about what I was talking about against what they're talking about?
Just to clarify, this is very different from smog. It's an additional portion of that. Smog regulates 8,500 and under. This regulates 8,500 and above. So this is completely separate from smog. But to that point, this regulation is completely gone for every single company in California except local government agencies, or state local government agencies. So no one has to follow this whatsoever. They can buy whatever they like right now, except places like us, because we're regulated by the state.
My answer, or my thought would be, would a call to the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, D.C. be appropriate to ask them that question? Or would that call have to go to somewhere in Sacramento to the EPA? I'm not sure which agency, or both, maybe both, to find out who's leading the band here.
It's interesting too, because like you said, smog exists.
Yeah.
There's smog for smaller trucks. There's a whole separate smog portion for these trucks in addition to this. There's quite a bit of different regulation not even covered within this.
Yeah.
That
That's-
pertains to that.
That's managed by the CARB, California Air Resources Board,
This
correct?
is, yes.
We also hear that CARB is being dismantled in California. So is it sustainable? Is it going to be unsustainable?
It's definitely hard, right? They have, like Shrag said, there's unfunded mandates and
Yeah.
expectations of something that might not be reasonable, especially for a small district like this.
I don't think 29 Palms is gonna be the place that sets it on fire. It is kind of strange that they want you to do something that isn't even there.
Exactly.
So currently, we've kind of adjusted our thinking style. We're trying to go under 8,500 GVWR. All our fleet is F-250s except 2 F-150s that we recently have purchased, maybe 3. The 150's under the 8500 GVWR, so there's a way to get away from our trucks as everyday drivers. That's not our concern. Our concern is the big F-550s or the dump trucks or the cement truck. And some of the trucks that are still in the back, we are under our regulations because they're older trucks, and they still are telling us by a certain year, those will be off the roads too. So you had to pick a certain way that your fleet would be in compliance at some point, and it's the bigger trucks we're worried about. It's the bigger diesels, it's the dump trucks, it's how do we get our equipment around? How do we get to bigger jobs when we're, our new flat rack F550 to tow the excavator trailer and the mini-esque. So it's those kind of vehicles that we're really concerned with. It is the F-150 that we're going to try to transition work trucks to. And in the meantime, continue to look at regulations. If we have to put in a charging station, we've already got small quote numbers of over 500,000 to build a charging station in the back here for vehicles that I don't even have.
Did they say, this standard applies to new vehicle purchases, correct?
Correct.
Does it apply to used vehicle purchases?
Just, let me correct that statement. Any vehicle purchased by the district,
New or used?
new or used, yes.
And we can't go out of state and bring one in. Can't buy used and refurbish it. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place with, to buy something that hasn't even been built yet by mandate, and we're on a time crunch to do it.
Definitely the biggest, the most availability is in heavy-duty trucks like just trucks you see on the freeways, just towing big loads like that. There's a lot of those. Those are very readily available. Dump trucks are readily available, but, to that point, they cost the price of what a diesel one would.
Right.
And only maybe run half the day because you're charging it as soon as you run it for.
The range and the hours just isn't there.
Right.
So,
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yes. So I want to understand this. So CARB requested the waiver in 2023, but then withdrew the request for the waiver because they anticipated not needing the waiver.
They anticipated that the EPA would deny the
Right.
waiver because of the restriction we have currently.
Okay. But then enforcement paused for all private vehicles or
Once the waiver
fleets.
was removed.
Right.
Yes.
So what does enforcement look like? How does that happen for fleets such as ours?
So if we were to go out right now and buy 2 F-250s, we would get a fine of $15,000 for the extra vehicle, and then we'd get a $5,000 fine daily until we got rid of that truck.
Daily.
Daily.
If we were out of compliance for that.
So can't take the hand slap and move forward.
I firmly believe that somebody turned the page before they read the whole sentence and didn't include what we're talking about as an exclusion or to get rid of it, because it's just like it's an oversight. Somebody forgot to turn the page before they read it.
I was going to
And-
ask, is there a reason why that it's still on us? Or
Utilities,
is there a
Just-
all
reason?
utilities.
The only reason it is on us, like Director Wood said, they don't need a waiver to enforce that on us, just because we're a state-controlled agency.
Right, but is there a reason? Because we're a state-controlled agency, there it is, okay.
If I was a
And under
private
federal
fleet,
law.
if I was a private fleet, this would not pertain to me anymore.
And it's under federal law, correct?
This specific
Yeah.
State law.
is state law,
Well,
because we are a state and local government.
right, but state and local government agencies are treated differently under federal law.
Yes.
So my question about the enforcement, you went and bought a truck and then you got this fine and then this daily fine. Who is that does that? CARB. Who requested the waiver and then pulled back the waiver because they didn't think they need the waiver.
They,
Is that right?
they pulled it back, they pulled back the waiver because they knew that it would be denied by the EPA.
It would be denied, so there's no point in putting through the waiver.
Yeah.
But it
I
did
think they were
include
anticipating
utilities
giving
for
it
California.
the time, so to speak, and then doing that waiver again within the next 2-4 years.
Now, there you go, making sense. Stop it.
It
So-
just didn't include the utilities in California.
or cities.
Yeah.
So,
State and local governmental
Right.
agencies.
so how many vehicles are we talking to meet this 50% thing?
If we were buying.
How many would we have to buy today to meet this requirement? What's 50%?
We have 9 trucks that would fall under this regulation. So if we wanted to replace one, we could technically buy 1 diesel truck this year, but as of next year, we can buy 9. So we have 9 that are under the regulation.
Because 2027 is 100%.
Yes.
And how many vehicles would that be then?
We've
Zero.
been getting by purchasing 1 vehicle a year,
Okay.
being diesel, but as of next year, that doesn't really work.
So if we had to buy an F-250 diesel this year, we could do it without penalty.
Yes.
If we bought 2, one could be diesel, the other has to be electric. If we wait till next year, they all have to be electric,
Correct.
Or they don't sell them, or they don't make them.
but they don't make them.
They're not widely available.
Right.
Correct.
And again, we're going away from the everyday F-250 as the everyday driver to beat the 8,500 GVWR rule. Going to, if we were, looking for a truck right now, we would get another 550 flat rack or a duty truck for us going and doing the field work that we do with moving equipment and stuff. So
But we can only do one.
it would be diesel, 6.7 turbo diesel, Ford.
I believe in my heart of hearts, they're gonna fix that before 2027 and make it mandatory electric everything. Because they're not making, like you said,
California?
To add to this, written in that packet, there is a, I guess I'll call it a lawsuit, so to speak, requesting that this be delayed till 2030. But that has not become law and is, of course, being fought by CARB as well.
So we're gonna,
are you referring to a class action lawsuit?
I'm not, I don't want to misspeak, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it was brought up that they may make a change to 2030, just delaying this 3 years, but it has not become law, it's just, hopes at this point.
we'll have to go back to mule teams or figure out how to harness electric Lightning 150s together and make them run like a horse string.
Just start purchasing hay.
But there's emissions those too.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Wow.
So what is the plan in the next year to purchase the vehicles to make us compliant that aren't being made and you can't get?
So if you don't, you don't have to get rid of the existing vehicles, if I'm correct. So we're gonna keep our 250s for a while. We wanna see this play out a little bit.
Okay.
In the meantime, I don't wanna create a charging station that I'm never gonna use, right? Are we looking for Ford to come up with a 550 electric vehicle? I don't think they're gonna do it
I
if they
don't
just
think
took away
that's-
the Lightning. So at this point, I think the main point was Ryan to get in and discuss what we're doing with York Engineering for us to also understand where do we have to go and when are we committed to having this charging station and all these, because now we're talking infrastructure and we're talking unfunded mandates again, that they're not going to provide you the funds to create in your own backyard. So it's just us paying close attention, it's us understanding the regulations, staying on top of it, and like Director Coghill says, hoping the regulation does go away, but we said the same thing with Chrome 6, and it's right here in front of us again. And Chrome 6 is it's in litigation again, where we don't know if that's gonna be rescinded again. So this state seems to always be in front of themselves a little bit, but it's to bring attention that part of this district's infrastructure upgrades could be a fleet of electric vehicles at some point. This has to be the conversation that
That they don't make.
Yeah, so they'll have to come in and rotate a vehicle every day.
We
I need 3 vehicles now to do my job, boss.
It would take 2 vehicles
Yeah.
per guy that's out for 8 hours.
Everything else be on charge for the rotation. Wow.
Thankfully,
But
this
if they
does apply.
don't make the truck, I don't understand. How are you getting something they don't make?
Because they don't understand what they're trying to regulate.
That's
wait.
my question.
Car's
Didn't
way in
you,
front of the horse.
Yeah.
We're just trying to say they don't make what they're asking us to buy.
Ryan, didn't you say the state comes back with an answer with, well, they make that truck, but
When I say Ford does not make it, it does exist. There are many manufacturers that do create the truck that this is pertaining to that we'd have to buy. It's just not widely adopted by, let's say, Chevy or Ford or something like that. It's, up and coming companies, which again comes
a
with,
specialized vehicle that may or may not be here a year from now.
if you purchase a vehicle from a new company, that comes with a whole nother can of worms. But yes.
3 times the cost.
Hecho and Chine?
The meeting you went to, were there other concerns from the audience?
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Are they basically saying the same thing we're saying?
Were you at the meeting where Edison and PG&E were both at the meeting and said, we don't have the power to do what you guys are asking. So the two power companies came out, the two major power players. I don't know if Ryan was there, but I know Steve was. PG&E and Edison said, we don't have the power to provide what you're asking us to. You guys will figure it out, as Carbs, was what Carbs said back. You guys will figure it out. If I'm correct, I didn't sit at those meetings, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, the infrastructure's not there.
So we can't, they don't make them, we can't refuel them.
There's not enough.
But you'll buy them anyway.
The state says so.
I don't want to.
All right, we're good.
Thank you.
Let's talk
Thank
about
you very much for
something
that
else.
explanation. I enjoyed that.
Thank you, Ryan, appreciate it.
Nice job, Ryan.
Okay. So if we need, do we have a need to,
This politic body is exceptional, and in fact, we have brains.
I felt like I was at work for a minute.
so do we have a need to purchase another truck?
No, no.
Matt,
So do we have a need to purchase another truck, outside of the problems with the state and purchasing problems?
If we are at our last year, it's definitely something staff is looking into. Because if we can't get that 550, and we've got the one we have and the flat rack we have, this district will need another duty truck at some point. So we are looking, and there is money in the vehicle replacement budget to make that purchase.
What's the latest that we have to do that? Is it December 31st to place the order?
Yeah, I believe it's calendar.
That's what I was gonna say, I
correct.
believe it's calendar year.
Calendar, okay.
I'm sure there'll be Christmas sales.
Yeah.
That's my
Fourth of
advice.
July sale.
That's my advice.
So we can get one more bits of diesel this year, and hopefully the regulation goes away and we're good.
And then we're done with it again, yeah.
But if the regulation doesn't go away, then you can't use the truck anymore past 2027.
No, you
No,
can
the
still
truck-
use the truck, you can't purchase a new truck after 27. But Ryan also said that they are in the works to making it 2030, which would then every year you have one truck.
We
and it
buy
starts
one.
over in January, so for 3 years, you would have the opportunity.
Buy one.
But again, like Director Coghill is saying, we're hoping to see that regulation kind of go away at that point.
Right.
Just something to add. Thankfully, this district's fleet is in a very good spot. We have a lot of new trucks. We've weathered the storm, for sure, a couple of years. We've always been good to purchase a vehicle every year, which helps a lot.
Yes.
But let's say we did have to wait till 2030 or something, just to kind of weather the storm, so to speak, we would be okay to do so. Just, you know.
So I understand.
And then
It's not that 50% or 100% of your fleet has to be it's that your purchases.
Purchasing.
Right.
So if you had a whole fleet that wasn't, but you do back up against 2027, just say hopes and dreams and schemes don't work, and 2030, and it is 2027, it's just new purchases.
Right.
Okay, I
Imagine
understand.
large water districts.
I understand.
I recognize that we turn our fleet, 5 to 7 years?
we've been pretty proactive.
I think our oldest truck is 2014.
Okay. I read somewhere in this, anyway.
We got onto a 7 to 10 year cycle with the smaller trucks.
Okay.
That's where our cycle was at, where we were seeing the other ones. And again, that was us going on those dirt roads and being out in Lear. With NAA, we're not really on those roads as much. When we're out checking meters on a
Yep.
certain work order, yes, but we're not out there driving the routes.
Driving meters every day.
Beating up the
Yep.
trucks as bad as we were. So,
So the 550s, what's, their rotation cycle is the same timeframe?
Generally.
Okay.
I would say a little longer because they're not everydayers. We're not in them every day. The duty truck we are, the guys take the duty truck home.
So we may have to extend the point of time where we get rid of a vehicle to help solve this problem.
Generally, we will keep them as long as it is, you know,
Economically feasible to do so, yeah. All right, thank you.
of course.
Good thing we have a good mechanic.
We got a good mechanic.
Starts burning more than a quart of oil a day, we get rid of it. Till then, we're not gonna worry
I'm
about it.
gonna worry about it.
I had a new one that did that. Dealer told me that's perfectly acceptable. Not a day, a month.
All right. Item 7 is our consent calendar. Matters under the consent calendar to be considered routine will be enacted in a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board, staff, or public request specific items to be removed for separate discussion and action before the board votes on the motion to adopt. Any questions on the consent calendar?
I move we approve the consent calendar.
A second.
Moved and seconded. Should we have a roll call vote, Cindy?
Director Lemon is absent. Director Bowden,
Aye.
Director Leeser,
Aye.
Director Wood,
Aye.
Director Cogdill.
Aye. We didn't need a roll call, did we?
No.
Damn it. I gotta remember not to do that. I'm sorry. Every time I think it's a money situation, we gotta have a roll call. My mistake. Item 8, items removed from the consent calendar for discussion or separate action. There were none. Item 9, management reports. Maintenance, that would be Superintendent Minitry.
Good evening, Board of Directors. The Operation and Maintenance Department performed the following tasks during the month of December 2025. Responded to 43 USAs, 2 leak audits, 51 shutoffs, 592 total completed work orders. We installed 4 new services. There were 1,365 past due bills, total $12,268 in penalty fees. And would you like me to move on to water quality?
Yes, please.
Water quality, bacteria samples. A total of 50 routine bacteria samples were collected at test points for the storage and distribution system during this past month. In addition, 15 bacteria samples were collected. All routine and special samples indicated absent for call alert. Production, the district produced 167 acre feet, which is almost 2% increase compared to the same year in 2013. And 2013 is the standard, is what we compare it to. So, and if the board has any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Minitry with regards to maintenance or water quality?
None.
None.
None. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Finance, Scott, you're up.
Good evening, Board of Directors. Included in your packets tonight, financial reports through November 2025. A couple comments tonight, mostly focusing on the investment report, the statement of all our cash and investment balances of the district. As the board adopted a new investment policy tonight, or updates to our investment policy, remind the board that we have 2 investment vehicles we use mainly, LAIF and CLASS. For historically, the last couple years, CLASS has had a much higher rate of return than LAIF, so our funds have been heavily balanced towards CLASS. As of November and continuing through today, if we look at those rates side by side, LAIF is starting to outpace it, so that is something Matt and I will continue to look at to make sure we're allocating the district funds appropriately to maximize return on those funds we have on hand. Also plan to have discussions with Matt about funding the district pension and OPEB trust. Every year in our budget, whatever we budget as cell tower revenue from our various cell tower sites throughout the district, the agency has established a history of taking that and contributing it towards the OPEB pension trust. For the recent years where we've had very favorable CLASS returns, we've been using a sub-account of CLASS to get good return on that money without the volatility of those trusts. Given the changing environment, that is something we'll revisit as well, and bring a recommendation to start funding into those trusts. Outside of the investment report, P&L wise, just one item of note I'll point out. In November, we saw a spike in our reimbursed expense line, that is recycling revenues, that the district turned in during the month of November. Otherwise, expenses continue to trend as expected throughout the year. With that, happy to answer any questions of the board.
Any questions, Dr. Bowden? Dr. Woods? Dr. Leeser?
None. Thank you.
I have none. Thank you, Scott. And General Manager's report.
I will be quick.
Oh, please.
Proposition 218 notices went out in the mail, so next month we will be bringing you our Prop 218. What are we trying to do in
We're having our public
February?
hearing.
Public hearing in February. Protest hearing. As of right now, we have 1 protest. So that's good. Coffee with the GM is still up and going. There's 2 more events, February 12th and 14th, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. For those that have participated, including board of directors, I appreciate that. You being there and just having conversation, and then the customers that have showed up, we appreciate the employees that have showed up, we appreciate that. This Friday, I did take a slot for the Gary Daniel Show. I just wanted you guys to be aware that I would be on there. I don't want to talk rates on the show, but I will talk about coffee with the GM on the show. New employees, just wanted to welcome Deegan Stokes, Billy Weckenman, and Robert Edgecombe. 3 new employees for the district, and in the meantime, the district has some other positions that we're looking to fill. So it's exciting to have new employees, and it's exciting to bring them along and already see them working and doing a great job and producing in a short period of time. One of the things we talked about, being close with the city and understanding kind of what's going on with housing. Recently, we have been approached that the Desert Hall Housing Tract may be looking to get started, and 160 some homes in the Ben Hunter Tract looking to go in. The reason why I would bring that to your attention is because that's 160 services with infrastructure upgrades that we will having some say in. So anytime we talked about housing going in or new things with the city, I contact Keith Gardner at the planning department and just say, hey, where are we at? So that's kind of exciting to see that through the year we're already at about 14 services, and if we get it close to 160 services in the next couple of years, we're going to have a pretty decent revenue stream there as far as new services. With that being said, I appreciate, like I said, coffee with the GM, and the rate study has been interesting going through the process, and just want to thank everyone for their support on the board. I know it's important, and the extra things that we're doing to be more transparent through the process is definitely going to pay off long term. So with that being said, if the board has anything for me, I'd be glad to answer you guys.
I've had very positive conversations with people about the rates survey. Some of them have talked with you, others have researched on their own, and they say it looks very reasonable to them. I haven't had anyone say that we're crazy. My wife, me personally.
We had a gentleman at one of the coffees with the GM that said, I came in here with every intention to be against everything that you had to say about water, about why the price is going up. But in our presentation to them, we explained that this district is 87 square miles and that we can be at that 87 square miles within an hour to fix and repair whatever we need to. He didn't understand what it took to run a water district. And he said after the presentation and showing the 3 slides that I show through the slideshow, I'm here to say that I appreciate the fact that you're even doing this, and I am not against you guys on the rate study. I approve of what you've kind of explained today. So again, the support has been great. The people that showed up at the meeting where we had about 10 people, it seemed like towards the end everyone was very supportive of what we were doing here. So positive feedback, and I'm glad that we kind of stuck to it and made those 8 dates from the beginning of that meeting where we had the discussion. And we're through 6 of the meetings, and we've got a couple more coffees with the GM.
Working out well. Dr. Woods, anything?
I appreciated being at one of the coffees with the GM, because while we didn't have any people come, it was a good opportunity to talk about some of the future projects such as the GeoDealer, which helped me understand a lot more some of the innovations that we're trying to provide for customers. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Dr. Laser?
No, thank you. Appreciate it. And everybody sign.
Thank you, Matt, for your report. Agenda item 10, future agenda items and staff tasks, director's comments and reports. Dr. Bowden, anything on item 11? Dr. Woods?
I really appreciate Ryan's report today.
Pardon?
I really appreciate Ryan's report today.
Oh, me too.
That was really
Very,
informative.
very much so. Very
I appreciate
good.
that.
Austin too?
Austin too, yes.
Please.
Austin
It was
and Ryan's
very,
report.
thank you.
See how
for
knowledgeable-
Having to stand up and speak,
See how knowledgeable our staff is?
indeed.
Wonderful people.
Oh,
wonderful.
I did have one other question. Sorry, I forgot because I was being so complimentary. The question is, do we, as a water district, have any future plans on partnering with Copper Mountain College, who has started their water technology program there, which I'm super excited about, for jobs in the community and educational aspirations. And I had an opportunity to talk to someone from CMC who was filling me in on what they were doing, and it sounded like a really good opportunity for us to get into. So I just wondered if you had talked to anybody there, or if you had plans for that.
We have been talking to CMC, so we've been part of panels. We've been part of panel interviews to talk about water jobs and what we do. We have employees reaching out and saying, hey, this water technology program at CMC is going to allow us to further our education before we have the years in the field. So there are talks going on. Believe it or not, early enough in the program, somebody asked if I was interested in instructing some of the programs.
I believe that.
I told them outside employment to this district was not something I was looking forward to, and that this district meant more. But I would love to support the programs and the community building those programs. One of the key members, Brian Metten, has been big in the construction field program up at CMC. He and I have talked every day. He wanted to bring his class to a rate study, coffee with the GM. I told him that I would love to set up a private coffee with the GM where they can come and talk about plumbing and water issues. So we're definitely willing to help, willing to be part of those water programs, because I think they're very important. Not only for people looking for water industry jobs, they're important to the staff that we already have here currently. So I'm excited. May even try to coax Robert and Mike and myself into taking one of those classes just to kind of get an idea of what they're going to do there and provide for us. But we were involved in the curriculum talks about how they were creating the programs, and if we really felt like the curriculum was going to be very effective towards the California distribution and treatment classes that we already take. So we did have input. And Brian has been amazing, and just understanding the construction trades that he's doing up there, and then us telling him where he needs us to be, that agency where he can come in and do coffee with the GM and ask questions and plumbing issues. We would be glad to be there and helping out. So it is a great program, and we're excited to see that take off. I think it was supposed to take off this last year.
It is.
Even the year previous, I think but maybe there wasn't as much interest. So we really need to push that this water technology, including to our own employees, is there for them to get to the next step of going to the next class for them, because that's what it helps us with. So it's exciting times. Yeah.
I'm glad to see the vocational academics are coming back to the college level, to the high school level. I'm really appreciative of that fact, because I did vocationals at high school when I was there. But the last time I was at the college and spoke with them, they didn't have enough candidates to start the class yet. They're working on it.
Was that this year? Because I kind of was under the impression they were starting this year.
That was like 6 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was the last semester.
Again,
I'm hoping that they graduate with skills that are vital to future
which is why
employment.
it's so important
employees
for
in the area.
an agency that employs to be involved with that, because it's a grow your own. When you need qualified candidates, or you need current candidates to become even more educated, education, of course, is a great equalizer, then we need to be part of that. So I'm really glad. I'm excited to see it, because water technology is something I tried to start in high school years ago, and it's just like there wasn't this interest. But yet I look at the wall here when I come in, and I see all these pictures of all these employees for the water district. I'm like, I know. I'm like, this is a super career field. You just have to know about it. And then I just am really excited that one of our local education agencies is taking that on. So we need to help them
Yes, for sure. We will support.
rocket ship.
The distribution and treatment class, when Mike and I were going through the ranks, you could take twice a year. You took a D twice a year, you took a T twice a year. The newer generation gets to now they don't do it all in the same place, and they only don't offer it twice a year. You can call the center, you can get signed up still through California, and now go to a center where you have the opportunity to maybe take the test 6 times a year now, because I think they make you wait about a month if you don't pass something or whatever. So they're starting to do things different too, where if you didn't pass them twice in a year, so you only could take 4 tests a year when we were kind of going through the ranks. So it's exciting to see what they're doing at the community college level and even the college level, to say water industry jobs are needed, and people are needed in these fields. And it's prevalent up here right now with what we're seeing. And it's exciting to get new people in here and get working. So.
Need a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Need a second.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are
It is late.